going on? Legion Nuta here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our gaming XP grind episode 34. So we're going to get into an XP update because we've been doing quite a bit behind the scenes. So attack 261,000 XP, woodcutting 802,000 XP, construction 1,946,000 XP, runecrafting 439,000. Magic 43,000, mining 4,038,000, artisan 3,154,000, and cooking 151,000. And there's a huge gain in a little bit of artisan and cooking as well as rune crafting right there. And we've also been working on attack a little bit. But let's go ahead and show you guys our mannequins. And on our way over there, we just would like to say, if you guys haven't already, and you would like to, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, as we really appreciate all the support. And it's very nice to be able to talk to the community about the game, as we're quite interested in it, and I know you guys are too. So if you guys ever have any questions or sort of want to leave a comment, we will for sure respond. So we have been working on some more of the apprentice outfits, as well as these right here, the hard leather armors. So we've actually put quite a bit of time into that. I'm not sure if we showed the construction that we did to get it where it's at, but we're so close to our goal. And then now that we're going to be reaching our goal of construction, we really just need to take all the planks, because I'm pretty sure 2 million construction XP would basically lead to 99. But we can't be 100% sure. But since we have so much work to do in woodcutting, even if we had to get it all back, it wouldn't really be the end of the world. I'm not sure how long that hole's been there on the wall, but I noticed it a couple episodes ago. But anyway, we've been doing lots of things. We've been collecting a lot of paste so we could make more hard leather. We've added mannequins and made a lot of different outfits. So those things have all taken a lot of time to gather resources. We've done a little bit of organizing in our base. We've added more chests, as obviously our cooking XP went up quite a bit. So what are we going to be doing in this video, you might ask? So I want to actually get a little bit more swamp tar, but I want to talk about something actually while we play the game a little bit. I think you're actually going to find this quite interesting. So you're trying to level up attack, right? First thing is, you're probably going to want to bring some sort of stamina potion or drink, something that's going to allow you to attack a little bit more, because you see how fast our stamina runs out. So we're going to kill these giant rats, go back to our base, and then sort of grab something to allow us to do that. The reason we're doing this is we're trying to get more cooking regions, or supplies, however you prefer to say it. But ultimately, there's a couple things to really note here. We're talking about attack XP, right? So you could argue a couple things. You could say, oh, it doesn't make sense at your level to potentially hang out in these lower level areas. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of research, because I've already done it, but I want to show you guys. So you're going to get 16 XP, and it turned out to be 18 for that whole kill, right? So obviously the amount of HP that these creatures have is going to largely determine how much XP you're going to get per kill. Or did I say that right? Yeah, their life. How much life they have is largely going to determine how much XP you're getting per kill. Now, there's things to consider. How dangerous the area is, and basically survivability. So there's a risk reward. So we're getting about 18 XP per kill, right? So what we're going to do is obviously grab these red berries, because we're working on cooking. And so I'm going to show you now. We are going to go... That's weird, I thought I got all of them. There's tons, but that's great because we need all these resources. But we're also going to have to repair our iron sword while we're back at the base. But for those of you who don't know or haven't fought the Abyssal Demon, he gives great XP. I would love to just run around and kill chickens and, the giant rats. So let's go back to our base really quick. I've got to get a steel bar. But what I want to talk about really quickly here is how much difference in XP it's going to be if you just decided to kill some different creatures. So what I want to do really quick here is grab an attack potion, and I really think I've only maybe used it one time before in a game. So the problem is we don't really want we don't really. I think these are what we want. There, it says you're gonna get grants an XP boost for the attack skill, so it's quite interesting. But I don't think we want that because obviously these monsters really aren't that horrible. What we want is this one right here. So we're going to replace our current water with that. We have a little bit too much, to be honest. 50 is going to take too much weight, and they obviously last quite a while. So I don't know. We got like 26. It's still quite a bit. So let's go ahead and go to the swamps. And now we're going to do a little bit more experimenting. Okay, so I am going to pick these up. I don't really need to. We're out here really primarily for swamp tar. And this is sort of, you know, because we wanted to work on our attack, as it's something that really sort of gets left behind while we're skilling. And obviously at some point we're going to have to make that a priority. I don't really care about the clay as my artisan XP is ridiculous. So these are the things I want to discuss. Ultimately, the XP difference between creatures that you're going to be killing. So let's go ahead and kill this gigantic Plague King. It's quite massive. Now you're getting 32, 18. You're getting about 18. I mean, it's quite a bit of XP. But I believe he was like level 3, right? I wasn't even paying attention, which was the whole purpose. But we're going to go ahead and attack this guy. So he's level 2. And you're getting about 16 to 19 XP per hit. So why this is important is because we were just in the other area. And obviously those creatures don't have as much health. But we got about 18 XP for the kill. So there is sort of a point where it stops being worth it to keep progressing to higher level creatures to get good XP. I do want to see if there's a chest up here really quick. If you're looking for... I can't believe I missed that. If you're looking for swamp tar, this is going to be the place to be. Because obviously it's all over the ground. But this is the big thing. The chests, they have quite a bit of it. So... it's crazy. My throat is not sure what's going on. But ultimately, you're going to find a lot of these rats, right? This is a good show, like to show you. So yes, they've got more life, so it's going to provide more XP. But there's little threat here, especially once you're higher level. So you're also going to be getting swamp tar if that you're after that, which we are. So yes, you could go to the higher level creatures, and we're going to show you what that's going to look like. Because if you were to go to the Storm Touched Islands, the odds of you being able to basically fight one creature at a time can be difficult, and you could easily accidentally aggro more of the Garu. So the problem with that is you increase your chance of death. And I guess some people might say, oh, well, you just got to know how to play the game. But I don't think it's quite that simple, because sometimes, you know, you've got the shaman shooting you with poison, and you've got those horrible guys with swords, the Garu. I don't even know their name, but what I do know is that when they swing, there's usually 3 of them, especially if you get hunted. So what happens is you might block the initial blow, but what's going to happen is ultimately you're going to get hit by the other one, and then it sort of leaves you vulnerable to being attacked. So those are not good things. The reason I went here is because this is another great place to get swamp tar, especially as you run down the mountain. But you can see you get a little bit here as well. So not a bunch, but there's some here. And obviously all of it does matter. So they got some here at their little camp. But it's decent XP. And if you're lucky enough to run into the Abyssal Demon, it's very good XP. So it's definitely worth fighting him. I know he can be a little bit difficult to kill. You just got to make sure to block at the right time, because you don't want to get killed by him. Obviously, that's not the point. The point is to kill him and get good XP. But there's a ridiculous amount of swamp tar here, so I definitely like to use this place. It's a little bit dark, so let's go ahead and light the place up. Now, if you're here and you want to keep searching for more swamp tar, you're going to have the opportunity to find that, as well as bittercap. Is it bittercap? Bittercap mushrooms. And those are going to be good because you can just sort of throw those in a fire pit and make food. So you're going to level up cooking. And that's obviously also very important. But there's lots of rats out here. And we're about to actually leave. this area. The whole primarily we were trying to bring you here so we could just show you the XP difference as well as get a little bit of swamp tar. But I think we've sort of showed what we wanted to here. It's just we already are here, so it just sort of makes sense to sort of grab a little bit more while we're here. But basically, you can see there's really no threat out here. We're getting quite good XP and attack, and even if we were to get hunted, you can handle the situation. It's not going to be crazy. That's another thing too. Like where you got your base built is, if you were to build your base in a level 3 area, that's going to be incredibly difficult to survive if you were to potentially have your base raided. I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time. Well, actually, no. When I used to have Zazima's, when I was near Zazima's 99-cent store that I built, that was my base. And when I was attacked, it was for certain almost death every time. I mean, you basically have to run for your life. So it's not really worth it to have a base in a higher level area. I don't think anyway. Plus, the best area to sort of collect trees, in my opinion, is the starter area. There's little to no threat. Even when your base gets raided, you're able to sort of still stand a chance against all these creatures. So I really think it makes sense to just play it safe and spend your time at a lower level area. And like I said, the trees out there are amazing. So obviously we like to woodcut, and a lot of the different skills that we do are around that skill. So anyway, and here's a good example. We're being hunted right now. So let's go ahead and deal with these guys, which is not going to take that much time or effort. So we got hit once. Now, if you were in a higher level area, your odds of survival are not great. And ultimately, you just end up running, which you're just wasting a bunch of time that you didn't need to waste. So we are going to be taking you out of the... I got to re-up my stamina drink. But ultimately, we are going to be taking you guys out of this area. I would have liked to find the Abyssal Demon, but we recently just killed him behind the scenes. So I know he has a timer on him, and he just doesn't respawn super, super quick, which is understandable. So if we could just jump over this. But there's some rats here, so I do want to kill them as they've got swamp tar. So it's unfortunate because now we've got, problems with what we're after and what we're trying to show you at the same time. So it's crazy. We actually made a ridiculous amount of leather behind the scenes. I mean, we've been doing a lot. So sometimes XP doesn't really show the whole picture, I don't think, and really what's been done, which is unfortunate to some extent. But that's fine, because ultimately when we have all those resources inside of our chests, I think that sort of makes up for it. I'm just trying to find a lodestone at this point to sort of get us out of this area so we can actually show you guys the XP. But you're seeing a level 2 creature here, and I'm actually dying. That poison actually got me really good. But that probably could have been avoided as well by just playing the game a little bit differently. I've got my leggings of lightness back on as well, so that's something to also note. And the reason for that is because fall damage is insane. So if you've got these on, it's going to help you survive a lot better when you're sort of just jumping off high areas. So let's go ahead and kill this guy and find our lodestone, because we are trying to show you guys the XP difference. It's taking a minute, but it's not the end of the world, because obviously we are sort of trying to work on attack as well while we're out here. So sort of doing everything at once. So it really works out. I don't think there's a lodestone out here. I don't know why I haven't run into one. I've got so many lodestones all over the place. So I think we should have easily run into one already. Let's keep going. We'll find one really quickly here, I'm certain. So I know there's one over here by the vault. I guess they're called vaults, so I don't want to really go that far, but I guess that's where it's at. So, but lots of interesting things come into the game. We're excited about all of them, and they just can't come soon enough, as I'm sure most of you feel that way. So let's go ahead and get out of here. So now we're going to experiment a little bit, right? So it's tough too, because we've got to be careful where we go, because we are actually See, we've got someone coming for us right now. But we've got a lot of buildings around, and I don't want those to create a huge lag while I'm loading in. So you see here, yes, you get more XP, right? He wasn't super difficult to kill, but you've got an archer here, you got another archer. So the more and more you sort of mess around with and that guy just fell off the cliff. But the more and more you mess around with the higher difficulty, yes, you're going to get more XP sort of doing that. But the problem is you increase the chance of the number of units of people you're going to be fighting, especially out here in the Storm-touched Highlands. But this is actually, I would say, probably one of the better areas to be to get XP for attack. I actually got to up my potion again for stamina. But, oh, I didn't block in time. But the reason I almost died right there. But that's really my fault, though. I really should have actually had it activated, and I didn't. It would have given me a little bit more stamina, and I might have got more hits in. So, we also need food. But anyway, so right here, great example. You've got two archers. So this is what happens ultimately when you go to the higher level areas. We may actually die here because the lightning hit us and we got attacked by that vine. So we've got to try to run really quick here, and we've got to get our health back. But that's just a good example of how you go to these higher level areas and you happen to run into two of them and you're almost certainly dead. They're still on our tail, so if an arrow hits us, it could be, our death. But you see these guys, they're giving you like 27 XP per kill, and you already need these resources. I mean, the Garu packs and the Goblin packs, right now, I really don't see that they serve a huge purpose. I know they've got rune essence in them and coarse animal fur, but ultimately, that's not really that much. I hope that they add things to those in the game, because I feel like at this point, they're not very valuable. But as I've stated in other videos, I'm actually saving my bird's nest moving forward. And the reason is because I'm almost certain that they're actually going to have birds seeds. Not bird seeds. The bird's nests are going to have tree seeds and things like that. So it's going to be extremely beneficial. I should have brought a bow, because we've got to start knocking down more of this essence. But for those of you who don't know this area very well, you can actually sort of build a lot of lodestones around, and these sheep and ram sort of have a pattern that they're going to respawn in, and it can be very beneficial if you're looking for lots of these resources to sort of plan a route, so that way you can efficiently collect all these things. But we're going to go ahead and drop a lot of this in here because we're out of room. But look at that, 64 swamp tar. So we actually did quite good. We need more, and we need more coarse thread. So that's another thing. I guess if we see any flax out here while we're out here, then we're going to pick that up as well. But there's a bunch of different areas that these sheep and rams spawn. It's sort of their primary hotspots. So once you sort of figure that out, it's good XP to get your attack up. We just used a bunch of our stamina just running over to this. So this guy should be dead soon. But I mean, ultimately, the whole point of that video and showing you guys was it makes sense to fight high level creatures to get more XP, but it also, you have to realize the potential dangers for wherever you decide to hunt for them. So I think I really just wanted to say, like, Storm-touched Highlands is a great place to do that. Just try to make sure you're not hunting here in the nighttime, because it's a little bit difficult to see. You've already got the lightning working against you. And then other than that, like, if you were to get hunted, it's not probably going to go very well for you. So, but look at all the sheep and the ram. They're sort of everywhere. So I think you benefit a lot by hanging out here. And resource-wise, XP-wise, these guys are not that difficult to kill. The lightning can be a little bit of a pain. That sheep's going to get away. I really don't even want to go over here because there's an archer by the bridge, and I don't want to die. So, and who knows who's near him. So it's also important that when you're trying to level up attack, that you gauge sort of gauging whether or not it's worth it to sort of be in certain areas. I mean, there are like hot spots where you're going to have certain things happening. So I think that once you play the game long enough, you're going to know certain areas that are just basically not safe. One of those actually being where I'm at right now. this can be an incredibly dangerous place to be. It's just a very, for some reason, a lot of times when I come in here, but I guess it's mostly at night, like I said. So just try not to be here at night. Ultimately, it's not safe, and obviously you can manage. I mean, yes, but if you're just looking for casual, trying to level up attack and not have to run for your life all the time, I think that you'll figure out places you can hang out here to get the XP that you want. And then I also really thought it was so cool. I really started to think about it, and I think it's really neat that these rams sort of protect the sheep. I thought that was really cool. I know it's sort of not really that big of a deal, but I thought it was quite interesting that they sort of have a protector. But you can see more sheep over there have spawned. So, and you've got lots of dwellberries here. I feel like this area is very good for the game. I feel like it sort of provides a lot of different things that you're going to need in the game. And other than the fact that it can be incredibly dangerous if you venture into certain spots, like pretty much the castle area where you fight that like level 5 guy, not a safe place. That guy can literally almost, I think he could almost one hit you with a shield, a full shield, which is absolutely ridiculous. You just got to time your blocks right. Like, I don't think I did that. But we are going to block that attack, and we got to redo our stamina drink as well. But we're probably going to head back to our base and sort of show you guys a little bit more of what we've done, what we're working on. And I think our next episode's definitely going to be reaching 2 million construction XP. So that's actually a pretty big milestone, as even though we found a really efficient way to level up construction, I mean, speaking about it or talking about it is one thing, and doing it is a completely another. I think that one of the biggest things is to reach level 99, or in this case, level 50. But I mean, I'm already level 50, but I suppose the max is level 50. But the point is to be consistent and be determined. And I think that's where it really comes from, is just, if, you know, especially if you want to get to 99, even though it's not going to be 12 million, like they said, I think to keep the game going, it's still going to be a considerable amount of XP. So something we're going to be focusing on a lot is picking up all those ash planks at some point and getting our artisan actually to 4 million. That's our new goal. Originally, it was going to be 3 million, but over time, things have just sort of happened, and we've decided to change that. And now that we're actually over here, I've totally forgot. This video is probably going to be on the 30-minute length, but what we're going to be doing is I've already set everything up. We're going to do some cooking, and then that way we can sort of dabble with a couple other things. But we actually got all this set up for this video. I just completely forgot, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pop a cooking potion really quick because we obviously don't want to miss any extra XP. I think I collected about like 5,500 dirty water too, but I've already made it all into clean water. That's why we have 150,000 cooking XP, because we obviously have started to use it. So we'll put this stuff in here. I don't want to get too ridiculously unorganized. It can be a little bit difficult to get back on pace when you do that, as you've seen it with me a lot. I have that problem. So I am going to run over here and put these in here. Drink this. I actually need a little bit of food. My character is going to die of hunger, apparently. So let's go ahead and find our food. So we've got plenty of food because we've been working really hard on that. You know, what's interesting is they want to raise the amount of people who can be in a world with you while you're doing things, which I think is incredibly exciting. Because eventually they want to come out with a 5-headed dragon, which in its own right is absolutely ridiculous. The sky's the limit for this game. If they just do it right, which it seems like they are, they're really relying heavily on player feedback And I think that's really important, because if you just sort of do whatever you want and you don't care what your players want, your players are literally your heartbeat. They're the ones keeping it going. So listen to what they have to say, because ultimately the game is for us. Obviously they create it and you want them to have enjoyment with that process. But at the same time, if you sort of ruin it, I mean, this is a legacy, in my opinion, RuneScape. It's definitely not just any game. So I think it's really important that they put the time and resources and energy into it in a right way, because you can build something great here that, and it's, I mean, obviously you could get it close to something like RuneScape 3 is, or RuneScape, old school, because it has that potential. I mean, you've just got to do it right. And the replayability right now, obviously you can see how I've gone crazy with it. So ultimately it has all the things about it. They're going to make it like that. And the more that they put into the game, it's just going to make it more and more like that. So I think it's just very important that it's done right, and I think they're doing that. So, but killing chickens is just not my favorite thing to do. But obviously they do drop raw chicken, so that's kind of important. And the reason we're doing this really quick is because obviously we need flax, and secondly, we're waiting for all that food to cook, and it's not nighttime, so we can't really just go to sleep to speed up the process. But this is all good stuff for cooking, so we need it. But we're really excited to sort of have construction just sitting at 2 million XP. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be it, right? We don't know the future, but I mean, level 50 is like level 50,000 XP. So, I mean, it's hard to really say what's going to be what. I really want that flax, but I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up picking everything up off the ground, and then I won't even have room for it. So it would be sort of a waste of time. It wouldn't be worth it. But I don't know. There's something about flax. I don't know. It's quite old now, but a while back they sort of showed a sneak peek picture of Fell Hollow. And this was a while back now, but for any of those who didn't see it, it's actually really cool. I saw like a wheat field, and it looks like potentially willow trees, but I can't be certain. And we just got 2,000 cooking XP, which is crazy. So, yeah, so I don't know if those are like willow trees or what they are, but they were weirdly sprouted. They were sort of angled. So I'm very excited to see what that's going to be about. But we got 34 of these. Hopefully it gets nighttime soon so we can sort of just finish everything that we've got. I think I've also got this ready too, but this is a tricky one because we don't have an artisan potion active. So I think we're going to activate that really quick, and hopefully it turns to night soon here. I don't know if... there's no way all of my cooking's done, so we can actually do this really quick. Let's see. I don't think I popped an artisan. I need to. So we'll sort of skilling later in the video, which is not really... I don't know, because we sort of were skilling the entire time the video has been going. It's what we've been doing non-stop. It's just an attack. But don't worry, at the end of the video, we are going to be doing an XP update and sort of showing the progress from this episode. I feel like we've been very productive, whether it be resources or sort of giving you guys information and updating you guys on the mannequins and the current XP update that we did at the beginning of the video. But I think this video might go over 30 minutes, which isn't the end of the world. It's okay. We really are enjoying sharing our progression in the game with you guys. And there's just so much more to come. I'm so excited for Range, to come to the game, and Fell Hollow, and anything else pretty much. So it's all really good news. Everything is good. So let's go. Let's see. What can we do really quick here? I mean, we're just really waiting for it to be nighttime. I don't have any more cooking potions. I don't think. So I'm actually going to grab some cabbage, because when we run back through, we don't want to miss any XP. Obviously, that would be a complete waste. So this is good too. We're getting cooking XP right now. It's interesting. I don't know. There's something just sort of relaxing about running around and collecting things. And it sort of almost brings back the feel of like playing RuneScape, right? The other RuneScape. So I mean, you had this bank and you were a total noob and you had all these things and you thought you were so cool and you're like, oh, I've got whatever you might have, right? One of the coolest things for me to farm back in the day was cowhide. I don't know what it was. It's not even that great, but there was a feeling you got when you actually were gathering it. And I don't know. I just quite enjoyed it a lot. I wish I would have had a little bit more out to cook, but ultimately we covered quite a bit so far in the video, and it's actually getting nighttime. So we're gonna pop a cooking potion, and then we're probably gonna go to sleep here. So I shouldn't have actually popped the cooking potion. I should have waited. Let's see. You know, I push escape. People probably wondering why I do that. Might wonder why someone would. There's a reason that I do that. And it's because there was that update to the game, like, I don't know, like a while back now. And what happened was, I used to get out of my bed by pushing escape. I actually couldn't get out of my bed. I'm not even going to lie. What happened was, I couldn't figure out how to get out of the bed, so I started pushing all these buttons on the keyboard, and then I think I figured out that it was escape. But on the right side of the screen, it told me to get out of the bed, push control, but it wasn't working. And then when they updated the game with magic, control worked. So I'm so used to pushing escape to get out. So it's kind of weird. So I got in the habit of that, and I don't know. It's kind of weird, so I still do it. Hopefully it just lets me go to sleep here now, because it's quite crazy. But we got lots of things going on, and I think there was some other stuff in here too. I mean, we're always doing stuff in the game, so it's quite crazy. I think I've actually got a lot of logs in here now. I think maybe I went to sleep on those. Yeah, I actually took all my oak and started making oak planks so I could use them to get more artisan XP. Because ultimately, I think once we hit that 2 million, it's pretty much going to be it for a long time, until we sort of find out what the next level is going to require as far as XP. But I still think I'm pretty much on course in the thought that, I mean, it is still a survival game, so I don't think that they can make people get this absolutely ridiculous amount. So just have to wait and see. But here we go. We get to go to sleep. So this is the exciting part. We're going to be able to get loads of XP here. And I think we're going to start with cooking. And the only reason is because we've got to empty out our inventory actually too. Because what's going to happen is all that weight from the food and stuff. So let's go ahead and grab all the cooking first. Crazy. So it's quite a bit of XP. And we had already got a little bit earlier. So the thing of it is, you got to get dirty water and you got to make it clean. And that just takes time. So what did I do? I just had my artisan. Here we go. So we're going to do this. And also a lot of my logs are done too now. So that's good. We sort of did both. We got all of our thread. So that's quite nice. I mean, there's just so much work to do. I think that's kind of a good thing, because you set goals in the game and it forces you to progress. It's not really, you can be like, oh, I don't really feel like it. It's like, you get excited about it. I think it's fun. It's exciting to sort of be like, oh, let's make a giant army of mannequins that all have armor. And then you sort of say like, oh, well, that's going to require a lot of resources. But then now you get to go get them. So I think it adds a lot of element to the game, because you're forced to do more than you normally would have. So I think it's really important to have goals in a game. And if you've currently got some, you guys keep going and you'll get there. And I think it's really important, though, as I state, to have goals. But like, look at this. This is ridiculous. We're getting a ridiculous amount of artisan XP. So, and the amount of charcoal that we have just keeps going up and up and up. And if you look down there used to be logs everywhere. I mean, planks. But they're all picked up now, because we're going to be using them in the kilns to get artisan XP. I wish I knew what 99 was going to require, for a lot of reasons, really. But the biggest one is basically my target. because, I mean, I've got lots of work to do even then, right? Because you got to figure, um, it's just not going to be easy, and that's not a problem. It's just some of these skills are going to be ridiculous. They really are, and I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I mean, 500,000 XP could be 99 for all I know, but I think 1.2 million is way more on target. But look at our giant army. We've still got work to do. We've got to run through vaults to get more vault shards to finish this right side right here, which is actually kind of a bummer because vault shards are not that easy to come by. You sort of got to go into the chests and hopefully run into some of the vault, what are they called? Vault warriors? I'm not even sure what they're called. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over an XP update because we've done quite a bit in this video, and let's do it. So attack, 265,000. So almost 266,000. So we're excited about that. Woodcutting, 802,000 XP. Construction, 1,946,000 XP. Runecrafting, 439,000 XP. Magic, 43,000. Mining, 4,038,000 XP. Artisan, 3.2 million XP. And cooking, 156,623 XP. So we've got actually a kind of a lot of cooking XP in this episode. So obviously we've got lots more work to do, and our goals are slowly coming to be. And you do that through just motivation and determination and setting a goal and completing it. So guys, we really appreciate you guys watching our content. If you made it this far, we hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said in the beginning, if you haven't already subscribed, if you want to, that would be amazing. We really do appreciate the community getting involved and sharing our experience in RuneScape Dragonwilds with you guys. So until next time, Legion Luta out.